Hello everyone. It's Stray Faye here with another episode of Olympia Soiree. Alright, it's been a long day. What happened last episode? In Himuka's route, we got some pretty big bombshells actually last episode. One of them being that Himuka is indeed Lord Hiroko. We kind of picked up like the breadcrumbs that they left with that, and I was more willing to accept that because, yeah, they were kind of like giving us little bits and pieces, and like we're just making connections, and like, all right, now like all his suspicious behavior, like it makes sense that he's Hiroko. Doesn't have that much power, even though like people revere Hiroko as like the main leader. They don't know it's him, so. He doesn't have the power to change anything, unfortunately, it seems like. And then the other bombshell, they just threw that out there. There's like a string of murders that are happening, and they're like, oh yeah, Hyri's the executioner. I was like, what? Like, excuse me? I was not expecting Hyri to be the executioner. I was expecting the executioner just to be some, like, no-name person that is just working in the background with all these Hazushi. That kind of sucks for Hyri. I mean, he's executing like a lot of people from Yomi, which he probably doesn't want to do. And like, is he not getting paid his salary? I know this is like my concern, like the wrong concern here. Like he's the executioner, and yet his salary isn't enough to the point where he has to like sell cookies and newspapers to get by. What? Where are these labor laws here? Alright, well, and now we're locked up in here in our lingerie in Himuka's corpse shack. in the bone shack. Hopefully he comes back. Alright, well, let's start this next chapter. The sweetest fruit. Himuka? Did we take a nap? I woke with a start and went to try the door again. I like her footsteps, just barefoot. Wait, that's right. I was like, is her clothes dry yet? That I remembered. Himuka took her clothes, probably her shoes as well. It still won't open. I don't get why he took the clothes and is able to lock the door anyway. Like, I get it if like he didn't have a lock, because like taking someone's clothes, they would feel embarrassed to go outside, so like it would keep them confined like inside the building. But it's just like, this is excessive. It still won't open. After waiting so long for Himuka to return, I finally dozed off. I wondered when he would knock on the door, or when I would hear his voice again. I wonder if he slept outside. Could he still be following Hyri? Oh, hungry. Uh-oh, do we have food? There's like pots everywhere. Unbelievable. I guess I can't fight my hunger. Then again, after what happened yesterday, I haven't had a bite to eat. Himuka, you didn't give us food. I do see like a pickling jar over there. He doesn't have food in here. Although, oh no, like appetizing it would seem, like among all these animal bones and pelts. I know. I still had the Sujiura in my bag. Oh. Thank you, Hyri. It'd be kind of weird if it was like a note. Like the fortune cookie. Maybe they have a note inside. I never thought these would save the day. I broke open the first Sujiura. We have both met this person before. You spoke to him at the Sundial Plaza not long ago. I felt a lot calmer now that night had passed. But whether I believed it all was another story. Yeah, it's still kind of unbelievable that, like, Hyri would be the executioner. You'd think they would keep him confined if that was the case. Or he'd have a better salary that he didn't have to sell cookies as a side job. Imagine like doing that like horrible work and still can't get by. Himuka is Lord Hiroko. Hyri is the executioner? We're not exactly sure. I had never heard of him having the power of Batsu. He never flaunted it, which is weird. Like, if he had the power of Batsu, you think he'd be a little bit more, like, revered, right? I definitely wouldn't be like Kiura, like, insulting him. It's like playing a very dangerous game. He was just a newspaper vendor who sold Sugiura for a living. The same boy who insulted me every time we met. The one who treated Asaha like his own brother. That tremor. It occurred just as the child yelled. I'm certain he's connected to Izanami. Hairi, was it you who caused the earthquake? It all seemed too far-fetched to believe. I know, we're getting to, like, god territory here. Gods and curses. The same unpleasant feeling of doubt crept upon me again. Feeling worse than before, I finished the Sugiura and lay on the rug again. Himuka, please come back soon. Being alone here is so boring and lonely. If only there was a way I could let Daifuku know that I'm safe. Oh, I don't know. We don't have like a transmitter. Maybe if we waft cookies in the air. I don't know. Suddenly, I heard someone behind the door. Himuka? Ah? Did you remember I have no clothes? I'm just sitting here in my lingerie eating cookies. Himuka came in, then immediately blushed and looked away. You forgot. I'm sorry. Your clothes. I couldn't help but chuckle at the situation. Oopsie. He was the one who took my clothes away, yet here he was, so flustered. It's like, I didn't think this through, I'm sorry. Himuka, where have you been? I was following him. He didn't step outside, at least not last night. I see. I'm sorry, I locked you inside. But I hope you understand. He looks so sad. I wonder if, like, the military's looking for us, or the Kodawari, or Doma. Like, we stayed inside all night. They must be wondering. We didn't tell anyone oh. Maybe they could... I feel like they should infer that she was here, because she did mention Himuka at Corpse Beach. Like, they know the location. He looks so lonely. How could I just leave him be? Himuka, listen to me. I understand that you want to keep me safe, but I can't stay in here forever. I never introduced him to you, but I have a pet mouse at the manor. I know you don't want him to starve. Although he's a little chunky, he could probably last tied over. He has enough to tide him over for winter. He and I are really close, and if I stay out for too long, he might get sick from loneliness. I have my deliveries to do, and I'll need to dance on stage again at some point. So please, can I have my clothes back? No, come on, just the clothes, at least. I don't want you to. Go away. Uh-oh, getting a little possessive here. Please don't lock me in your room. That would be weird. He spoke with such loneliness, and I couldn't even be upset. If only I could just split my body in two. Then again, if I did, I'd probably attract even more danger. Wait a minute, Himuka! You didn't explain why I'd be the next target. What led you to that conclusion? There has to be something going on that I'm not aware of. Imagine all the disappearances are just like Sakyo again. I mean, it would check out, like, that Byakuya would be also be a target. Himuka's gaze wandered around the room, but then he nodded as if he had given up. Alright, I'll explain. but some of it may be my imagination. I don't really want to believe it. I nodded and waited for him to continue. Firstly, like I said yesterday, there's no proof that he's involved in the disappearance of the two who have gone missing. I can't be sure about this either, but perhaps they were just threats, or maybe it was to acquire show. The show that are formed from human souls. I mean, I don't think Hyrie has a use for those, but Sakio does. They possess enough power to feed the sun and keep it shining. The spark of life, I guess you could call it. And the person with the most brilliant and powerful soul in this world is you. But they sacrificed the last remaining white just for the sun. But then they won't have a replacement, right? They'd have to just rely on the solar link forever. Me? You possess the purest color of white, born from the tears of the goddess Amaterasu. Huh? I wasn't sure what to say. Everything I had heard until now seemed like a fairy tale. I wonder, do the women of the white have show crystals? I don't know, because they bury the dead. They don't turn them into show. I can't imagine Himuka lying to me, but it's hard to just accept everything I hear as fact. I've never heard that before. You don't need to believe me, but let me continue with the assumption that it's true. Izanami is the goddess of the dark, so she detests the light and all things pure, which means that my existence as a white is a nuisance to her? Right. The loss of the white in this world means that the sun will disappear from the skies. Izanami just want the world to burn. I mean, if mythology is anything to go on, she was the goddess of creation and death, but then, yeah, I think she was one of the first goddesses to die, and got sent to Yomi, and she kind of she's resentful of that. So yeah, she would be very resentful of the sun if she couldn't go back to that. Without the sun, all that will remain is darkness. When that happens, the water from the spring will overflow and kill everyone with Haku. Well, this is okay. This is kind of intense. It's not just us in danger, it's the whole island. And yeah, no one can escape. That's horrible. We can't let that happen. My voice came out in a shout. We can't have the sun disappear. It would be devastating. To my mother, to Lady Amaterasu, to everyone. That's why I said you were in danger. I couldn't refute what he was telling me now. You're the most precious of all in this world. He said something like that to me before. But I assumed he said that to me because I was Olympia. Does that make sense? The sudden earthquake down in Yomi. Doma and Lord Jigen appearing with a great sense of urgency. The two missing people. Assuming what you said is true, what are you planning to do, Himuka? That's something I'm still unsure of. I believe that child, Hyrie, is connected in some way to Izanami, but there's nothing unusual about Shinimizu Spring. Maybe the goddess isn't there. Maybe the incarnation has left the spring. This is what I'm thinking. It's Izanami has incarnated as a different form. I don't know. I'm watching too much isekais here. So honestly, I don't know what to do. I see what you mean. But this time, I promise I'll protect you. Huh? I mean, you see, I failed at it before. Wait, like when? Is he referring to that time with Enji? I mean, he kind of like protected us a few times, or at least made threats to like make them go away. I will never ever let anyone defile you. Suddenly, Himuka's eyes filled with an unusual heat. The mysterious sparkle of ash and silver was captivating. Himuka? Thank you for saying that, but I don't know what I'd do if something bad happened to you. Is that so surprising? Did you think I was some kind of heartless person? Not at all. You're very, very kind. Oh, blushes. He's like a really old entity, right? It's kind of weird to see him like as someone younger. It's like, you're an old man, technically. That's right. You must be hungry. Humans need to eat, and you like eating delicious food, right? Do you not eat? I'm pretty sure even like the outsiders eat. I mean, maybe as like the son of a deity, maybe like his dietary restrictions are different. But the food stands weren't open, so here. Himuka took out some kind of fruit from his pocket. I found it nearby. It's a passion fruit. Would you like some? Oh, okay, we've like had that before, right? We had like passion fruit soda. Ah, so that's what grows from passion flowers. I've seen them in bloom at Sundial Plaza, but this is the first time I've actually seen the fruit. The ones at the plaza don't bear much fruit, but at the beach they're really sweet and delicious. Then, if you don't mind... Just a second. Himuka picked up a knife from the shelf and cut the fruit in half. Oh, you're gonna feed it to me? Oh, it's like dripping. Alright. We're like in our undies. This is weird. Okay. Kinda romantic. Kinda weird to eat mushy fruit out of hand. Here. Do you know what you're doing, Himuka? I mean, like, we kind of like... He's awkward. He doesn't know what he's doing until he's like in the middle of doing it. Himuka happily scooped some of the yellow jelly with his finger and brought it close to my mouth. Oh, what the? Huh? What's the matter? I have hands. I can eat it myself, please. His innocent question was only making things difficult. We're gonna get like so sticky. I don't know. How do you eat that? It's not like a grapefruit, is it? like if it was like a grapefruit, you could use a spoon. This was just a well-intentioned gesture, sure. Himuka's smile was so bright and carefree. This is gonna be embarrassing. Bracing myself as if I were about to jump into a whirlpool, I slowly licked the fruit off his finger. Now you're like, wait. What were you expecting? You have it on your finger. Seeing Himuka tremble, I quickly moved back. This is so weird. No, it's not that I don't want to. Himuka slowly took another scoop from the fruit with a confused look on his face. He's like, why am I doing this? So, I don't know, kinda like it, kinda don't. Here. Huh? For you. I slowly opened my mouth and closed it softly around his finger. Alright, I'm getting a little sensual here. The tartness spread across my tongue. I always eat like this. You have someone feed it to you, or you just like using your hands? I see. Without a second thought, I scoop some of the fruit with my own finger. And... oh, we're gonna feed it to you. Here, for you, Himuka. Now you get to feel how embarrassed she was. Now you gotta lick my finger. Huh? You don't want it? Himuka's lips quivered. His silver eyes were looking straight at me. I'll have some. Oh, okay. Just grabbing the whole hand here. Himuka's cool, soft tongue gently licked my fingertip. Ah! The sensation I felt on the boat before rushed back to me. I felt a deep ache from within my body. The urge to embrace him grew stronger with each passing second. It's good. This passion fruit is much sweeter than before. Okay, is it because it's a different kind of fruit, or is it because you're licking it off my finger? Himuka presses lips to my finger again. But the passion fruit was already gone. This is your finger. Why is this so weird? I'm getting embarrassed. I'm getting secondhand cringe. This is your body heat. Himuka gently caressed my finger with his lips. You better not get flustered, like, after this. I swear to God. Like, you're just, like, licking my finger, and then, like, you're gonna come to your senses, like, in a minute. This is you. No one had ever looked at me so intensely. I felt too exhilarated to be embarrassed now. Byakuya. All this is you. Himuka's face slowly approached mine. Uh-oh, are we about to get defiled? Ah. Oh. Okay. Came back to your senses. Confusion? I'm sorry. What was I? Himuka jumped back and his body began to shake as if he was in shock. Alright, now you realize you're the dangerous one. The dangers aren't just outside, it's also inside the shack. What am I? I should be the one shocked. It's alright. The passion fruit was delicious. Yes. He didn't say anything more. Himuka slowly moved away and avoided looking at me. Am I disappointed? Did you want to go further? I couldn't help it. But that moment he touched me, I wanted him to touch me even more. It's like... like his demands touch me. His reprimands touch me harder. And I wanted to touch him too. Are you still hungry? Should I get more fruit? Huh? Suddenly, nothing else mattered. All I needed was to stay here with him forever, eating that sweet fruit. Let's go outside. Let's not get locked up in here. But it's impossible. Himuka, let's continue our conversation from earlier. I have to do my deliveries too, so... Oh god, Akaza, you know we're here. I was worried. What if there's like a bad ending where he just like keeps us in the shack and no one knows that we're here? Hey, Himuka, is she here? Ah. If she isn't, do you know where I can find her? Himuka looked between me and the door several times. Where are my clothes? If Akaza if you open the door and Akaza sees me like this, there will be questions. Himuka, if you're here, answer me. Why now? Himuka mumbled something very softly, but I couldn't hear what he said. Hey, are you there? He's like, the fire's on, I know you're in there. Ugh. Himuka, you better get it. But what about my clothes? If you don't answer him now, things may get worse with people suspecting you again. Byakuya, your clothes. Alright. Himuka walked weakly to the door. I think we're just about to make things worse. Hi, Akaza. Hello. Himuka, you're here. Do you know where? Hi. Have I interrupted something? Huh? Okay. She realized it. Ah! I crouched down and hid my body with my arms as much as I could. No, it's not what you think. He's like, what am I supposed to think in this situation? She's not wearing clothes. I'm sorry, Akaza. I'm sorry for worrying you. I'm fine, really. As long as you're safe. Himuka, can I please have my clothes back now? I was so embarrassed that I couldn't help but scream. But then I suddenly realized my mistake. Her clothes. Hey, Himuka, what is going on here? Yosuga sent a messenger saying that she hadn't come to check her letterbox today. And I remembered Riku mentioning that he saw her around this area. Akaza, it's not what you think. Don't tell me. You took her clothes and kept her locked in here. Well, he kind of fit the bill there. Yeah. You're right. I locked her in here. Himuka? Is that the truth? Do you realize the severity of what you've done? Akaza's voice was so formidable that I felt like he would draw his katana at any moment. Oh, Engi. Himuka in turn was glaring at Akaza coldly. I don't know who'd win. We never really seen Akaza fight. He's been protective. But I think Himuka would win. Just because he has, like, the power of Batsu. He'll just poof. Make Akaza go poof, probably. Himuka? How dare you? How dare you, Red? You are of the cursed blood, the last man who should ever be near her. What? Your red hair and eyes, the red in your blood. How dare you? You should be the one to disappear from this world. The air around us froze. Oh, does he have an axe to grind? All that remained was a terrible silence. I did not expect Himuka to not like Akaza. As if regaining his sanity, Himuka looked down. Himuka? My voice made Himuka's body twitch. I'll explain to Akaza what happened. For now, could you give me back my clothes? Ugh. Himuka went outside with tears in his eyes, then returned with my blouse and skirt. I'm sorry. Himuka, I'll head back to the manor to check on Daifuku, then I'll go from there to start my deliveries. He simply nodded in response without saying a word. We're just gonna go back to normal life. We can still hang out. I mean, we're not mad at you. I'll come by again to have some more passion fruit if that's alright. Huh? Don't worry. He nodded in response again. This time, over and over again. Was I the one at fault back there? It's like, Akaza just like, why did I get admonished? I came in at a bad time. But yeah, that was weird. Like, Himuka, getting angry at Akaza just for being of the red. We haven't really had an issue with, like, people of the red before. I mean, like, Jigen is nice. I mean, there was that one story where they said a man of the red killed Amaterasu? And Himuka does, like, revere Byakuya, like, almost to the point, like, idolizing her as if she's, like, Amaterasu herself. So, yeah, maybe there's something more to just, like, the lore there. Don't worry about what Himuka said. I'm sorry for worrying everyone. I was just drying my clothes at his house, and yeah, it took all night, and then he started feeding me. Your clothes. It rained yesterday. I mean, it came down really hard all of a sudden. So I ran into Himuka's place to get my clothes dried, and that's all that happened. If that is what really happened. Don't treat Himuka badly. Please don't treat Himuka badly the next time you see him. Understood. I'll be heading down to Yomi for the letters, and I'll apologize to Yosuga then. Actually, there is something I need to tell you. Akaza's heavy voice seemed to convey what happened. Don't tell me it happened again? 5 others have gone missing. Uh-oh. I mean, that kind of checks out what happened in other routes, right? Like, except there was evidence of disappearances. Like, people were just getting accused, like, left and right of Hazushi and then, like, immediately executed. But yeah, it's kind of odd that, like, people are just disappearing without a trace. Among them, we only managed to recover clothes from 3. There is nothing that ties them together, whether color, class, age, or gender. 5 more! I almost collapsed on the spot. If Hairi was the one who did that to them... But Himuka said that Hairi didn't go outside last night. If so, did all that happen while Himuka and I were talking yesterday? My thoughts circled desperately around a quiet doubt in my heart that I didn't want to acknowledge. Hairi of the Versi has emerged as the prime suspect, on the account of his facility with Batsu. Okay, even he, like, confirms it. Akaza! That look. You know something, don't you? He asked with his usual iron mask expression. Feeling a pressure that I couldn't escape, I somewhat hesitantly began to speak. Well, about that... Himuka was telling me about who the strongest Batsu users were on Tengu Island. So he also knows about such things. Do you know Himuka's Hiroko? Is that a secret? Do we only know? Are we the only one who knows? What about Doma? Does Doma know? Does Tsukiyomi know? I'm pretty sure they know. It could be because of his profession. Fine, let's move on. Within the island records that the Kotowari manages, we have classified Batsu users into tiers. Tiers? You mean how strong they are? I was sure my expression looked panicked, but I was completely unable to change it. Correct. Among them, there are only 2 classified as special. Riku and Hairi. The first emotion that came over me was relief. Wait, did we not want to be special tier? Which means that what happened that day is something only Doma knows. I must be a horrible person to feel so relieved. Kairi is also the executioner. I see you have already heard. So sort of. But Kairi's appointment to executioner was a fact not properly reported to the Kotowari. Okay, that does not seem like a good thing. Were they trying to hide his identity? I'm assuming he works under the military, right? What do you mean? The name of the previous executioner remains active, but he has since retired and is now the caretaker of one of the smaller islands. I have checked on him just to be sure, and he is definitely still on that island, meaning it is highly unlikely he's involved. Which is why our suspicions are directed where they are. I see. Did the other executioner just get banished there? Or is it actual retirement? That must be like a hard job to even like retire from. Like, you just spend your whole retirement like thinking of what you've done. That young boy would be the executioner. If I had known, I would have stopped him. I felt a sad sort of gratitude hearing him say that. I know he's like only, what, 14? Like, he's young. They say like mid-teens. I'm glad that Akaza sees Kairi as a person. As for the matter of Himuka having no family register, we will set that aside for now. I'm not surprised about that anymore. Himuka is Lord Hiroko. I knew Akaza could be trusted. But I was still hesitant to reveal that, even to him. I mean, maybe it's not like a secret you can tell. Of course, we still have no evidence of Kairi's involvement whatsoever. So I've decided to have someone keep an eye on him. I see. Has Himuka mentioned anything about him? Anything? Would we mention the mother comment? Or like Himuka watched him all night and didn't see him make any moves? Should I tell him about Izanami and Shinimizu Spring? Even I'm still skeptical about it. I've heard a few things from him in the past day or so, but I need to think about them first. Is that so? How long are we gonna think? Like, maybe Akaza could glean something, like, as a clue? That said, I'm not even sure who else I could talk about what I heard. Suddenly, a few familiar faces popped into mind. Tsukiyomi, Doma, Lord Jigen. The most reliable people among them was Lord Jigen. In any case, I would like to ask that you refrain from going out alone as much as possible. Huh? You never know who will be targeted next. Right. What if like two Batsu users just like faced off, but the Batsu cancel each other out? Izanami is the goddess of the dark, so she detests the light and all things pure, which means... For that matter, I'd rather you not even leave the manor if you can help it. But that's likely impossible, given your personality. I do have my deliveries, you know. I mean, you could take some time off. No. Of course, I understand how dangerous things are now. If you must go outside, please be sure to have someone escort you. Consider that an absolute order. Understood. I know you don't want to lose your independence, but you need to stay safe. And there are probably plenty of people who'd be willing to escort you. Very well. Let me escort you back to the manor. Hey, I'm home. Doma, do you care? Oh, Daifuku! You're so worried. It's like my food person. My food giver.
Eve, I'm so glad you're safe.
Daifuku jumped onto me the moment I entered the room. I'm really sorry for worrying you.
I'm just so glad. So glad.
I had to take cover from the rain last night. Some things happened and I couldn't make it back.
As long as you're safe, all is well.
I held Daifuku close to me and stepped onto the balcony. The sun is bright again today. I gaze out at the sunlit blue ocean and skies. There's hardly as much as a shadow. It's calm before the storm. Izanami is the goddess of the dark, so she detests the light and all things pure, which means... What can I do if what Himuka says is all true? I can't just stay inside here doing nothing, but I don't want to cause any more trouble.
It really is Hime. I was so worried last night that I was about to go searching for you. But there was an unusual smell of evil around the manor, so I wasn't able to go outside. Lord Doma has a powerful enchantment around the manor, so I believe it's safe here, but...
Sorry, excuse me? Like, oh no, Daifuku, you need to elaborate. Unfortunately, Byakuya cannot speak mouse. Daifuku, what's the matter? What are you squeaking about? Daifuku stared at me for a moment, then climbed up onto my shoulder.
Lady Amaterasu, please protect Hime.
Lady Olympia, Chigaya! Hi. Chigaya barged in as I looked out at Tenyo Island. Unbelievable! Where were you last night? I was worried sick. I'm so sorry. The rain kept me from returning. The rain? I'll be more careful next time. I'm very sorry. It was a very localized rain, probably. Just like on that beach. Promise me, next time it happens, you must send a messenger. I promise. That's right. I have a favor to ask you, Chigaya. Have you heard about people on Tenyo Island going missing? Tenyo or Tengu? I'm confused. Wait, I thought Tenyo was that island over there. Yes, I have heard. That is why you worried me so. I thought you might have been attacked. You know how I've been delivering letters recently? If you don't mind, could you please accompany me? Ah yes, our protection, Chigaya. Chigaya's eyes widened for a moment, then she looked down as if trying to hold back laughter. What is it? You look so eager to go out, even now. You have changed so much in such a short time. Now it's my turn to look down. That's right. The entire time Chigaya's known me, I've kept myself in my room. It hadn't even been a month since my birthday. I was surprised too about how much I'd changed. Of course, I'm still a bit worried, but I would be more than happy to accompany you. Thank you. Can we start today? I wanted to take a bath first before heading to Yomi. Very well. I will advise Master Doma of our schedule. As I watched her walk away, a new thought came to mind. I met Doma's Chamberlain at the entrance, so Doma must know I'm back already. So the fact he hasn't called me to his study must mean that he doesn't care. In that moment, a strange feeling of sadness swept over me. But such feelings were meaningless. Daifuku, I'm gonna take a bath now. I patted his tiny head, then left the room. Olympia, who's this with you? I was at Kunado showing my permit to Riku as usual. She's my escort. Akaza told me not to go out without someone accompanying me. That's right. but I cannot let someone through without a permit. Come now, would it really be so bad to be flexible at a time like this? I have a permit. Chigaya smiled and presented to him a permit with her name engraved on it. It's unusual that someone like you... It was issued for me when I began to work as a maid for Lord Doma, just in case. Huh. Just in case. It seems it finally has been put to good use then. You may go through, but please be careful. Thank you, I will. Right to the Moondial Plaza. I didn't know you had a permit, Chigaya. That was a relief. To be honest, I used to live down in Yomi before working at the manor. Really? Which means others in Yomi could come up to the surface for work, right? That's what Hairi does as a work permit. I don't think Chigaya lives down here anymore. She might have like a place, maybe like servant quarters or something. A small bit of hope budded inside me. Now, shall we head to the bathhouse? Two today? I put the letters inside my bag before going inside the bathhouse. I'm so sorry for worrying you, Yosuga. No, I'm just glad you are safe. You see, you usually come to check your letterbox at the same time each day. Given the circumstances, it left me wondering. I did not want to risk any danger coming to you. Oh, let me introduce you. This is Chigaya. She takes care of me at the manor. I've asked her to accompany me on my deliveries until things settle down. Pleased to meet you. I am Yosuga. I wish you the best of luck with your ward, as I am sure this will not be an easy task. I didn't hear that. It is a pleasure to meet you as well. Now then, Chigaya, let's bring the letters. Oh, that's right, Tsukiyomi. He was still the most trustworthy man in my life. He was practically my father, my brother, my family. Chigaya, there is someone here I need to see. Would you have a cup of tea and wait for me? Can we not, like, take visitors to Tsukiyomi? As you wish. Hi, you're down here. Ah, Lord Tsukiyomi isn't around. Oh? I descended the stairs down to Naraku and discovered Camellia standing by the spring. I think he went to Tenyo Island again. I came down here to ask for an adjustment. Oh? Is there a problem? No, I haven't had any real problems, but lately, it's been hard to stay awake. Uh-oh. Don't tell me. Are you the murderer? Imagine, like, because Camellia's like a puppet, right? What if she just, like, kind of shuts down and just, like, wakes up and goes on a murder spree, but she doesn't remember it? But I don't think she has the power of Batsu. That sounds like a problem. Do you know when he'll be back? I'm not sure. Of all times for him to be gone. And just when I had some questions to ask him, too. That tremor. It occurred just as the child yelled. I'm certain he's connected to Izanami. I wonder if Camellia knows anything since she comes down here often. Say, Camellia, has a boy by the name of Hairi ever been here before? Huh? I see. I don't know anything. Nothing. I don't know who that little blue-haired boy is. Honest. I have no idea. Okay, that's not suspicious at all. Camellia and I seem to be the same when it comes to lying. I took Camelia's hand into mine and spoke to her as gently as I could. Camellia, the question I just asked you is a very, very important one. If you know something, please tell me. I'm not just asking out of curiosity. What you know may affect the fate of this island and everyone on it. Huh? But... you know something, alright. Camellia, did Yosuga tell you to keep quiet? Huh? How did you know that? Which means she knows it's very important. Or what she knows is very important. Camellia! I won't tell Yosuga. I promise. Leveraging our friendship. If he does find out somehow, then we'll apologize together. But he told me never to tell anyone. Please, I'm begging you. Oh, hi, Yosuga. Then, once the investigation has finally concluded, perhaps I'll have you join me in bed. Oh. Why are you leveraging that? Ah! I was worried when Camellia did not return, so I came down to check on her. Yosuga, if you heard what I just said, great. Please, what do you know about Hairi? He's been down here, hasn't he? Yosuga's expression was dark and heavy. I had never seen him look this way before. But I couldn't back away now. Please, I'm begging you. It's really, really important. If you don't do something now, there's no telling what will happen later. Yosuga walked slowly towards me, then looked at the Shinimizu spring. It was on that day when the sun disappeared from the skies not long ago. Even in Yomi, everyone was frightened, so I left the bathhouse to find some way to calm them down. When I returned, Camellia was utterly drenched and asked me to follow her. Did she fall in the spring? I rushed down here as fast as I could, and I found Hairi unconscious and also drenched from head to toe. Okay, so he fell in the spring, but he did not die. What? I saved him. When I heard that the sun disappeared, I was worried and came down to see Lord Tsukiyomi. Are they talking about, like, in the prologue when the sun disappeared and she did her first dance? So that happened to Hairi, like, in every route, right? It was then I saw Hairi floating in the spring. I heard that drinking the water here would infect the person with Haku. But I'm a doll, which means I can't get Haku. So I tried my best to pull him out. Fortunately, he showed no symptoms of Haku, so I let him rest upstairs. But before I knew it, he was gone. Either the water doesn't work, or something else happened to him. Like, he didn't get infected with Haku, but I have a feeling he got, maybe he was, like, body snatched. Why was he down here? I do not know. Since then, Hairi has been avoiding me. But he is close to Asaha, no? I have attempted to befriend him to no avail. I see. Could your inquiry have something to do with the missing people? I need some time to think. Can I have some time to think? It's just that I'm not sure yet whether or not Hairi is really involved. I don't want to make any wild speculations. Understood. You are certainly right. I have not spoken about Hairi to Akaza or Karoba, but if necessary. Yosuga looked at the spring somewhat bitterly. I hear a great deal of information out there, So let me know if there's any way I can help. I will, thank you. I guess I should be going back to my deliveries for now. Yes, take care. How is Lord Tsukiyomi? Oh, you know of him? Lord Tsukiyomi spoke with Master Doba regarding my employment. I felt uncomfortably disappointed. Not at Chigaya, but at Tsukiyomi. I can't believe he never tells me anything. He hasn't said a word about Himuka, and now Chigaya too. Oh, maybe he didn't think it was important enough? At this rate, I'll probably discover even more that he hasn't told me about. Unfortunately, Tsukiyomi wasn't there. It seems he has gone to Tenyu Island. Tenyu Island? Chigai's eyes squinted slightly when I saw severely ashen hair swaying in the corner of my eye. I'm glad you're safe. Himuka, hi. Himuka! I went looking for you because I was worried. My face was getting hot. I suddenly remembered the taste of passion fruit on my tongue. Oh, I regained my composure and straightened up. This was no time to be embarrassed. Chigaya, could you excuse us for a moment? I have something to discuss with him, but it shouldn't take long. As you wish. What is it? Did something happen? I took a quick look around before whispering to him. I learned some information about Hairi and Shinimizu Spring. Huh? I told them what I had just heard, and a shadow fell over Himuka's face. That could be it. The water from Shinimizu Spring is no ordinary water. I'm sure Hairi made a connection to Izanami there. Do you really think so? I'm gonna go look for Hairi. I can't leave him alone now that I know what happened. I need to save that child. Of all times. My heart was throbbing hearing him say those words. He wants to save him. Himuka must know a lot more about this world than the rest of us. Even so, he still has the capacity to care about Hairi, and I felt my trust in him growing profoundly. Let's save him! Byakuya. Hearing him say my name again, I decided to ask. Come to think of it, do you know my real name because you're Lord Hirako? I heard it from Tsukiyomi. You have such a beautiful name. It suits you far better than the name Olympia. Really? Thank you. Well, I'll be going. You have your deliveries, right? Please return to the manor as soon as you're finished. I will. See you. Himuka waved, then went on his way. I'm sorry for the wait, Chigaya. Shall we? Oh, finished already? I've already told him what he needed to know. I was worried about finding a husband. Yeah, that's kind of like out of our head now. We got a murder mystery on our hands. But I was more worried about Hairi. There aren't many people outside today. It was a relief to see everyone walking together in pairs, likely a result of Yosuga's quick work. People can't walk outside like they used to, not until things are back to normal again. That's right, we need to resolve this soon. I clenched my fist tightly and prayed for courage. Alright, next chapter. One who has nothing. Alright, how profound. One who has nothing shall do everything, probably. Alright, so life is still going on. Okay. Some little intense moments here. Some awkward romance. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe it's just me. Like, I don't know, the finger sucking seems a little weird. Seems a little unsanitary. I don't know. Took too many microbiology classes. Like, like, could we use a spoon there? No, anywho, I hope Hyrie. We haven't seen Hyrie, but Himuka said he didn't go outside. Unless, like, maybe he just wasn't in his room at all. I don't know, we haven't really seen, like, hide or hair of him. But yeah, I think this is gonna go down, like, the godly route. Like, there's gonna be some sort of goddess wrath going down here. Yeah, so it's not like the typical villain, right? Like all the other rounds we just had. I mean, like just had. We had some schemers like Canon and Nagusa and Sakyo. But yeah, how do we fight against like a god? Like, huh? Are we just? Is Himuka gonna help us? Because he's kind of like a god. He's like a sub-god. A deformed god. According to folklore. Anywho, we'll have to find that out next episode. I hope you guys are having a fun and relaxing time, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.